what we're going to talk about was my love of fail videos, okay? And some of these ones you look at and you go like, okay, I see what's happening here. I've never seen this before. And I watched this and I thought to myself, okay, I can't believe these guys are doing this. They were experimenting with airbags out of cars, okay? So,
oh, really?
Yes.
The ones that actually break your face?
Well, the ones that are on your steering wheel and the ones that are, you know, in your passenger compartment in front. And now if you got the expensive cars, they come out of your seat, they come out of the roof, the side curtain airbags, all that kind of stuff. So these like 4 or 5 guys, and they're in the front yard of their house, okay? So they have an airbag out of something. I don't know. They didn't say what it was out of. And they put a tire and a wheel on top of it, okay? So, and it was not like a small tire and wheel.
Were these airbags inflated?
Well, no. Well, here, let me tell the rest of the story. So they took the airbag out, and you can't even see the airbag. And they're talking, well, let's see what happens now. And you can see there's a cable that goes from the airbag to, and you can't see the guy. And he's obviously, what he did was he's hooked up this wire to the airbag, just like it would be in your car. And he's got a 12-volt battery. And all he's going to do is he's going to put 12 volts to the airbag, which is going to ignite the airbag, and boom. So if you imagine here's the front yard, you see the guy's front house, you see another house behind him, across the street, and they put this tire, and it's like a big truck tire, not like off a tractor trailer, but something like maybe like off a 4x4, pickup truck, you know what I mean? Not monstrous, not like a big 35, but like maybe, like what you'd see on a stock Ford or Chevrolet that had the 4-wheel drive package, sort of bigger tires, okay? So they put this tire on this airbag, and they're also, okay, let's see what happens. And the guy hits it to the battery, and the airbag explodes, and the tire disappears out of the frame. And the one guy says, hey, where'd the tire go? And you can sit there and you go like, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. And then one guy goes, oh no, here it comes. And it smashes into this car in the driveway, and it crumples the back part of the roof and goes right through the rear windshield of the car and bounces out of the car and ends up back on their front lawn. I mean, and it misses the one guy by like a couple of feet because he's standing right by the car, So you figure, if someone in my old physics days, when I took physics in college, you could figure out how high, these were the kind of questions you used to get like in physics class. And this would be like, we had this professor who was from England who was working on the Star Wars project at McDonnell, in the old days, McDonnell Douglas, whatever they called it back then. Now it's Boeing. And I mean, these are the kind of things he would give us. And you could figure out how high that airbag or that tire had gone by how long it was in the air, because you figured out,
and the velocity as well.
You figured out the acceleration, how fast it accelerated, how, you could figure out how the peak of it was, because you'd take all the variables. You take, the weight of the tire, you'd figure out the timing and the whole bit, and the fact that it reached a certain point, and then it was zero gravity, and then it went back the other way. So it went up to a certain point, stopped literally for like, a microsecond or whatever, and then it started to come down. And I'm thinking to myself, unbelievable that nobody was killed. And when you think about that, you think, man, there's some force behind those airbags, because when I saw this, I'm thinking to myself, thing's going to pop up in the air and, maybe 5 feet in the air. Oh, look at this, that kind of thing. But I mean, it went.
Did they videotape how far it went up into the air?
No, because
or did they not even think to look up?
They couldn't see it. It was like, if you watched it, it was like, in other words, you never saw the camera go up in the air. It was just to the point where when they hit it, it goes boom, and the one guy who's like out in the street, apparently the guy who was videoing it was like on his front sidewalk or even on his front porch. So you see the guy, and he's the guy there's one guy videoing it and one guy that hit the battery, and there's a couple guys standing in the driveway over to the right. So this thing went almost straight up and maybe went 15, 20 feet to the right, and that's where the car was in the driveway. And and you could hear the one guy go, "Where'd it go?" Like it was there, now it's gone. And then they looked up, and then they saw it coming down, and it almost hits this guy. Now that would have been horrendous if it would have hit him. It would have killed him.
Yes, it would have.
But it's like, and even to me, I'm going like, man, I never thought that airbags were that powerful. But
it brings to the thought, So how would the insurance cover that?
I don't. I mean, who knows?
Because it's not like an act of God; it's more like an act of stupidity.
No. It would be. It would be.
Yes, it was an accident.
Oh no,
but
it would be real easy, Shelley. All you do is you just tell the insurance company, hey, my windshield got broken out. The airbag went off. That would be it. That's all you have to say. Hey, the airbag went off. The insurance company would go.
Well, I guess there was, some damage, but it was all on the top of the car.
Well, it was the back windshield too. But of course,
it was the back windshield as well.
I'm being facetious when I say you tear up. But think about it. If you called hey man, I need to make a claim on my car. My airbag went off and it damaged my car. Okay, fine. Take it in and we'll get it repaired. Right?
Yeah, that's probably not the way it would work, but okay.